So, hello, it's me again. I'm ROSA MAE Gerolaga. Next is I will be tackling about the types of the book. So there are five, I think. Yeah, the the um the picture book, storybooks, and fables. Um, the the rhyming poetry or rhythms, and then the informational book and the novel book. So let's proceed to the first type is the picture book. So definition. The picture book is a story told through illustrations and minimal text. So the storybook is this book tells through illustrations with only minimal amount of text. No, so they are very perfect for young readers. It's because from the picture pa lang is magets na nila or mas interest sila magbasa. It's because makita na nila bitaw ang mga images murag maka-interest ba na siya, maka-attract po na siya, especially sa mga children. I remembered na by explaining Mama Nal is nag-consist siya of 32 pages and above. 32 pages only. Sorry, 32 pages ang picture books mostly na siya. Hindi na siya mo lapas kay since mubo ra siya dapat. And then na po sa mga subtopics of picture book. The first is the wordless picture book. So it is books that tell the story using only picture. So ang kaning wordless as it's more on using pictures siya ang pag-story telling niya. Base lang ka sa picture dito and then mag-gets na rin mo. And then the next is the concept books. Teach basic ideas like colors, shapes, numbers, and mga opposites. As Mama Nal said na murag mga 6 to 12 years na siya. And then the next is the early readers is picture books with simple sentences for children beginning to read. So early readers is kanang mga simple lang siya. Simple sentences lang siya para sa mga children nga mga beginning pa lang sila ga-read para makuha na nila ang mga words in sentences. So next is here is a sample of picture books, no? The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. So since Mama Nal maraman siya explain ani nana siya sa siya sa G-class sa PPT. So I will just lang explanation. This famous books uses simple language ni siya, no? Nag-use lang siya og simple language kaning The Very Hungry Caterpillar nga story. And bright na mga pictures, no? Makita to nimo dito is more na siya with pictures siya murag magets na din nimo dito palang daan sa picture palang daan tells the story of a caterpillar eating its way through different foods now before turning into butterfly. Murag na siya murag step by step bitaw siya ang kuan ani siya ang kaning The Very Hungry Caterpillar kung nag-eat ang caterpillar, no, before turning into butterfly di ay. And it's a great concept book because it teaches children about numbers and how much he eats, or the caterpillar kung kapila mukaon ang caterpillar, and the life cycle of butterfly. So makuan po nato ito ang diri nga story as makuan nato ang kanang life cycle bitaw sa butterfly from kanang mabuhat na sila into butterfly kanang murag uod pa sila and then mahimo din silang butterfly na magkapadlupad na sila. And then the next type of storybook is the types of so the next type of books is the storybooks and the fables. So anda naman ani example sa fables katong the hare and the tortoise, but let's try another na lang dayon, which is the lion and the mouse, another example. So first, read the definition. So the definition of storybooks and fables are the short stories that often teach values or lessons. So fables usually use animals as characters and end with a moral. So ang example ani is katong sa mga Aesop fables, it's more on ang mga character is mga animals, and then more on kuan siya simple siya, short, and na-teach siya og values and mga lessons. So na siya mga subtopics. The first is the traditional storybooks, which is simple stories for young readers with clear plots. Next, in mga fables, stories that teach a moral. Characters are often animals, sample the tortoise and the hare, the lion and the mouse. And the fairy tales is stories with magic or fantasy elements. So kaning fairy tales is ano siya, kanang mga magic bitaw, mga imaginations lang siya, more on imaginations ng mga fairy tales, mga magic or fantasy elements. Example is katong Cinderella. So naman ko kagrupo ani nga na-explain siya sa Cinderella. I think sa first the multiculturalism nga kuan siya, or basta si ate Caitlin, si teacher Caitlin ang nag-explain about sa Cinderella. So since humana naman dili na lang ta mapusit another na lang. Next is ang folktale stories passed down from generation to generation. So kani nga mga folktales is like kanang mga folktales bitaw nga gina-pass down lang through generation to generation. So here is the example of storybooks and fables. The Lion and the Mouse by kanang Aesop Fables, Japanese. The conflict is the lion the conflict is the lion, the king of the jungle is sleeping. Nalang tayo briefly explanation. So the powerful lion is about to eat the tiny mouse who woke him up, but the mouse begs for mercy and promises to help him one day. So the lion is amused and lets him go, and later the lion is caught in a hunter's net. The brave mouse hears his roar and shoots through the ropes to set him free. So muto katong natulog and the mouse is sleeping, and the lion is natulog, the lion is sleeping, and ang mouse is natandugan niya si lion wala natulog. So na-disturb si lion, ano siya nga story of nga katong ang kuanda yun, imbis kauno nila yun si mouse, but wala na lang, and then nag-promise si mouse nga mo-help siya one day ni lion. So muna to si lion is nakakuan siya sa hunter's net, na sulod siya dito, nadunggan yun ni mouse ang syagit ni lion. So gitabangan din siya para mawala siya dito makuha ang kanong net para makagawa si lion, tungod kay na-trap man siya. So moto dito nga gamay og dako sila. The conflict there is the lion The king of the jungle is sleeping and a tiny mouse accidentally runs over his paw. The lion wakes up and is about to eat the mouse when the mouse begs for mercy. So, man to ang conflict nga natulog and then accidentally nga natandugan niya si lion and nakamata. And the right action is the lion is amused by the mouse plea and decides to spare its life. So the mouse promises to repay the lion's kindness one day. So man ito nga orat, kuan dayon ni lion nga is okay na lang, and then nag-promise po dayon si mouse nga i-repay niya someday, no. One day ang kamaayo ni lions nga wala siya kana. And the climax is later the lions get scuffed in a hunter's net and roars for help. The mouse hears the lion's roar and comes to his rescue. So muna ni siya nga. Ang climax dun anis katong muna ng katong na si lion is na-trap na rin siya sa net and nagsyagit siya, nangayo siya og help, and nadunggan ni mouse. And the mouse is help. Nakitabangan niya si lion. No? The following action is the mouse uses its tiny teeth to gnaw through the ropes of the net, freeing the lion. So, ang following action is katong si mouse, the climax nito, si mouse is na-trap na siya, and then gitabangan na siya. So, si mouse is gamay man siya, so, nag-use siya sa iyang teeth para maputol-putol to niya kuan sa net. And kanang mga PC, no? Mga PC para makagawa si lion. And then the denouement there is the lion is grateful to the mouse and realizes that even the smallest of creatures can be of great help. The lion and the mouse becomes friends. So the last part of the end of the story is mo na tong na nagka-friends na sila. It's because gitabangan ni mouse si lion, and si lion po wala na dayon na ukaon si mouse. So even the ay nga smallest or big ka, great help gyapon na siya, no. And the next is the literary elements used. So the theme of the story is the story conveys the theme that even the smallest of creatures can be the great help, and kindness is never wasted. So even though nga gamay or dako na siya, but it was a great help, and kindness is never wasted. The characterization, the lion and the mouse are the main characters with distinct personalities. The lion is portrayed as powerful but kind, while the mouse is small but brave and clear. No. Si lion is ang buutan, and the mouse is kanang mas kusgan. Even nga gamay siya, but kaya niya nga tabangan ang mouse, no, using his teeth para lang makagawa sa katong sa net. And the next is symbolism. The lion represents strength and power, while the mouse represents weakness and vulnerability. However, the story subverts these expectations, showing that even the weak can be strong in their own way. So, even nga ma-expect ka nga gamay, si mouse is gamay, ma-expect ka nga wala siya matabang, but they are brave, di ay dili na to maliit ang kanang mga gamay bitaw, but naa po dahil sila kaya. The next is the irony. The story uses situational irony, where the powerful lion is rescued by the tiny mouse, highlighting the unexpected nature of the mouse bravery. So, ang kaning part, ang irony is because, natawag siya irony is because unexpected ito nga mahitabo siya sa mouse nga yung hanaday ay iyang matabang kay lion, no, kay gamay ba si mouse. So mo tong irony niya, ang kanang bravery ni mouse, And the moral lesson there is the story has a clear moral message teaching readers the importance of kindness, compassion, and humility. So, kailangan siya na to ang kindness everywhere and everything. Yeah. So, next is, let's proceed to the next type of book. The fourth types of book is the novels. So, for teens din siya. It is a long, untitled stories with many chapters, characters, and events. So, pag novels na gani is kanang taas na ni siya. So, many chapters na siya. The novels. These are long fictional books with many pages and complex characters and detailed plot. They are usually for older children who can read for longer periods. Prefer ano siya is, mas prefer ang mga kanang murag kung ano dako na siya, dako ng talidad nga kaya na nilang mabasa o mga kanang taas nga stories. Ano ni ang mga novels. So, here's the subtopics. Subtopics: adventure novels, stories with exciting journeys or challenges, and the romance novels, stories focus on relationships and emotions, and the mystery novels and stories involving solving a problem, case, or crime, and the fantasy novels, long stories set in magical imaginary worlds. So, naa siya, pwede siya sa novels is naa siya mga fantasy novels na mga fantasy since fictional man mga imagination. So the example is ang kaning Harry Potter ang example ani the Harry Potter. So since mananam ning Harry Potter na, so di na lang dato balikon, let's proceed na. Basta mo ni siya ang example sa novel. And then the next is finally, this is the last types of books, the informational books. So, from the word information, mag-asa nato ni siya, sa ni siya about. So, mga more information, mga facts, or mga real. So, definition is books that give facts and real information about the world. So, they are non-fiction. So, the novels is more ano to siya, fiction. So, mga imaginary. Well, the informational books is mga true or mga facts ito nga matoong mabasa. So, the subtopics is the science books na mga nature, animals, weather, about sa mga space or sa mga health ni siya. And then the next is the storybooks, past events, mga important people and cultures. Next is how to books, mga step-by-step guides on doing something like kanang sa mga cooking, bitaw ng mga books naman nga na mga books sa mga children ng mga cooking nga makita na to na siya, mabasa na to mga informational books ang tawagan nila. And then the biographies, the life story of a person. So, for example, ani is kaning planets, mga space, whatever, mga weather, mga tree nga mga makakuha bitaw ta mga information nga natin matun-an or mga facts and kanang real information siya. So mag-base siya sa atuang like sa atuang society nga mga nitabo or like sa atuang environment. Yeah. The book uses mga real photos ni siya and facts to teach readers about like sa kanang solar system nga mga books. So that was a informational books example siya. Our sun, the planets like mga Jupiter and Saturn nga makita ni mga books, mga outer space. It is not fiction shots because its goal is to inform the reader, not just entertain them with a made-up story. So, kung informational, let's highlight na lang aning mga facts and information mga about the real world. They teach us something new like mga science or mga history siya. um kaning sorry, um ang kaning informational is to inform, not just to entertain, no, but to inform the readers. Kaning informational books to inform, more on information. So in conclusion, whether we're learning a perseverance no mama with a picture book, discovering the informational book, every type of literature, so it helps us grow and understand the world around us. And so that's so done in my part. So thank you so much for listening, and that would be all. Thank you and good luck.